It was almost midnight when I left my friend's house. The city was quieter than usual, like the streets were holding their breath. I remember thinking how rare that was for Los Angeles, for no glaring horns, no echo of sirens, just the low hum of streetlights as I turned onto the 405. My name's Claire Navarro, and that night was supposed to be just another late drive home after dinner. I wasn't nervous, I'd done this route 100 times, my favorite playlist was running, headlights gliding over empty lanes, everything felt fine. Then I saw him. At first, just a pair of headlights in the rearview mirror, nothing unusual, until I noticed they'd been there for miles. Every turn I made, they followed. Slow when I slowed, closer when I sped up. My gut said maybe it was nothing, but my hands had already tightened on the wheel. When you drive alone at night, you start to feel the road like a heartbeat. Every sound feels louder, the tires, the wind, your own breath. And I swear, in that silence, I could feel those headlights watching me. I tried to shake it off. Maybe he just happened to be going the same way. The freeway was long and empty after all. But then he changed lanes when I did. Not once, nor twice. The first time could have been a coincidence. The second made my pulse skip. So I tested him. I took the next exit, a random one. My plan was to loop around, maybe stop at a gas station with lights and cameras. He didn't just follow, he sped up. That was when the music suddenly felt too loud. I turned it off and the silence made everything worse. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears as I gripped the steering wheel tighter. Every instinct screamed that this wasn't normal. The car was a dark SUV. I couldn't make out the driver's face, but the way he tailed me, matching my every turn, told me enough. I pulled into a well-lit street thinking he'd pass. He didn't. Instead, he slowed down right behind me. Headlights flared, almost blinding me through the mirror. I remember that cold rush in my chest, the one that feels like you're falling even though you're still sitting still. So I did what I'd seen in safety videos. I made random turns, no patterns, no clear direction. I wanted to see if he'd lose interest. But every corner I took, he followed. By the time I hit a red light, he pulled up right beside me. I turned my head, just slightly, and that was the moment I knew this wasn't just road rage. This was something darker. Because he wasn't shouting or honking, he was smiling. Just smiling. Like he was enjoying it. The light turned green, but I couldn't move for a second. My hands felt frozen around the steering wheel. That smile. It wasn't the kind people give out of politeness. It was the kind that said, I see you. I've already chosen you. I slammed the gas and shot forward. My tires screeched so loud they drowned out the radio. Behind me, the SUV lurched too, keeping pace effortlessly. Every lane I switched into, he was there. Every gap I found, he filled. It wasn't just following anymore, it was chasing. At one point, I caught a glimpse of him through the side mirror. He rolled down his window and yelled something I couldn't hear, but the look in his eyes said everything. He wasn't angry. He was entertained, like it was a game and I was losing. I tried calling 911, but my hands were shaking too much. The first attempt failed. I missed a turn and hit a dead end, a dark stretch near a closed-down diner. That's when his headlights grew brighter, closing in fast. I panicked and reversed, barely missing a trash bin. The tires screeched again, echoing across the empty street. My heart was racing so fast that my breathing came out in short, panicked gasps. I got through to dispatch. 911, what's your emergency? There's a car following me. He's been chasing me for over 15 minutes. Ma'am, can you describe the vehicle? Yes, it's a black SUV, I think a Chevy. He's right behind me. The operator told me to drive toward the nearest police station. I didn't even know where that was, but I kept the line open as I sped down the road. My eyes flicked between the street and the mirror where those headlights still burned. At one intersection, I saw a gas station. I swerved in thinking if there were cameras or people, maybe he'd back off. But when I stopped, he stopped too, right at the entrance. That was when I realized he wasn't trying to scare me. He was waiting for me to get out. I didn't. I locked the doors, pressed the horn, and kept it there. Loud, constant, desperate. The sound finally drew attention. A worker inside peeked out, confused, and just like that, the SUV reversed and sped off into the night. I sat there gripping the steering wheel long after the SUV disappeared. My horn had gone silent, but the ringing in my ears stayed. The gas station worker came closer asking if I was okay, but all I could do was point toward the empty road. My voice wouldn't come out. When the police arrived, I thought maybe they'd find him, the man with the smile that didn't belong on a human face. They took my statement, checked the CCTV footage, and replayed the clips over and over. But his plates were removed. No registration, no identifying marks, just a shape in the dark, a man who knew how to erase himself. The officer told me something that still echoes in my mind. You're not the first person to report something like this. He explained that similar reports had come in from nearby freeways, a black SUV, late-night pursuit, female drivers, all describing the same thing. A man who followed, watched, then vanished when attention arrived. For days I couldn't sleep. Every engine sound outside made me flinch. My rearview mirror became an obsession. I couldn't drive without scanning it every few seconds. My therapist later called it hypervigilance. I called it survival. A few weeks later, the police reached out again. They'd caught someone matching my description, a man in his early 40s, found with a truck full of women's personal belongings. Phones, IDs, even clothing. He had been using fake plates, hopping between cities, targeting women driving alone. When they showed me his mugshot, my stomach dropped. The same smile, calm, measured, like the whole chase had just been an experiment to him. That night, I deleted Snapchat, every rideshare app, even my GPS history. I stopped driving alone for months, because once you've been hunted, you never really see the road the same way again. The yellow streetlights, the dark turns, the quiet hum of tires and asphalt, they all become reminders that evil doesn't hide in shadows anymore. Sometimes it drives right behind you, headlights on, smiling.